work was not just the mural, it was over the top of the tabernacle where they keep the host, the consecrated host, and so it's kind of like a sacred place there, and a sacred storage thing there, given the importance that they place on Christ's real presence in the host. So yeah, very dramatic kind of.
You said there's like little pieces of wood. It just had a whole bunch of little pieces.
On the top, yeah, little fragments of wood that started short in the front and then worked their way up like a wave going up onto the wall and then joining the wood that was.
So you had to figure out how to do that? Did Dad just say, here, do that, or did
that,
he give you...
I'm pretty sure he did that. I was involved with the pieces up towards the top where it's mostly just pieces of wood, the conventional for him, gluing pieces down onto a flat board. He did a lot of experimenting with adhesives too, because we were just going to glue to the wall. We were going to be bolting to the wall, so we got a bunch of different panel adhesives and tried them, tested them to destruction. Okay, this is the one that's going to work.
So then that whole thing was in sections.
Yeah, he was able to do in sections, as was his usual procedure with wall murals. To put it on a piece of plywood, build it, then go install it. The one at Jones, of course, he had to do on site on the wall.
And how was that different from like a flat wall?
The pieces you can't be put flush against the wall, and that's why we had
because
the wall's curved, and a lot of the pieces are straight or flat. That's where we had failure of the adhesive after all these years. And when we were repairing it, we discovered, well, here he tried epoxy, and that didn't work so good. Here he tried a different kind of panel. Here he tried this other kind of glue. Here, we had to do some research ourselves. Okay, what are we going to use to make it better? And we found a panel adhesive that's meant for fastening shower surrounds. So
was that liquid nails?
And yes, liquid nails meant for shower surrounds, so it's waterproof. It'll stick to anything, and it retains some flexibility. Whatever he used before was very strong but very brittle, and so it was starting to crumble, and that's why pieces were coming off.
Oh, and then you discovered this when you power washed it, that it did something to the glue.
Well, not to the glue, but the pieces of wood swelled, and then in the week after we had finished our work, and the 2 weeks following, more pieces started to come off. So Ann had to go back and and do some more glue. And we had to go around and test all the pieces again and find any that were coming loose. So.
Too bad it can't be magnetic and you just stick it on a magnet board.
Mom says in her document that Dad grew to like that and treasure that experience of having to do it live, while people were watching directly on the wall. I recall her saying, or him saying, it was so exhausting.
Yeah.
That that's the last wall mural he ever did. And
sure.
After that, it's like, and so I kind of got the impression, well, I'm not going to do any more of these.
Well, then you have to have energy not only to think on your feet, what the hell am I going to do next, but then to be cognizant that other people are watching you, because that takes a whole other. Then it becomes almost performance art, and you're trying to not make mistakes. I mean.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that it's still standing, and it does look so much brighter.
Yeah.
When I saw it today, it was really bright.
Yeah, it really made the tiles just explode.